Know Thyself here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. So, today I want to talk about abundance mentality. I've been thinking a lot about this recently with a lot of the comments that I get on my Instagram. Um, Wilson Holtz, WILSONHOLTS, if you want to follow me on Instagram. And, I hear a lot of comments from the men who are going through breakups, and the relationships seem to be in the ways that the men are describing it. It seems like it's one-sided. So what I see a lot of is um, this particular statement, like, I've given so much to this relationship, I've given so much to this person, and she threw it all away, or she never acknowledged all of the work or all of the things that I gave to the relationship. And so I just wanted to speak to that dynamic because I understand the hurt that those men are expressing. I have been there before. I know how it feels to give, quote unquote, give your all to this person, only to feel as if they didn't acknowledge and or reciprocate the energy that you put out. But a lot of times, the other thing that strikes me about it is, and this is more of a foundational point, is that you don't understand that when you say a statement like that, I gave my all, what you're saying is that I put all of my energy into the quote unquote success and or failure of this relationship, when I should have been putting my energy into myself. And I should have put that energy in before I even got into the relationship. So for the men out there that are single, let me tell you something. Being single is probably the best thing for you, because when you're single, you have the opportunity to work on those problem areas that may or may not arise once you get into a relationship. For example, while you are single, this is when you need to be figuring out what your boundaries are. What are your standards? What are your morals? What are your principles by which you live your life? So your morals, obviously, this is how you treat other people, how you treat yourself. Boundaries are what you will and will not accept from somebody else. What's your limit lines? Standards are literally how you conduct your day-to-day life. What are your own standards? Principles like integrity and honesty, truthfulness. These are the things that you have to work on a daily basis, figuring these things out, your value system, figuring these things out for yourself, so that when you happen to find yourself in a relationship, or when you happen to find yourself at the beginning of a relationship, when you're just figuring out whether or not you want to be in a relationship with this person, you can be listening to and observing their energy. You can be observing their habits. What are their morals and principles? How do they conduct themselves when things get hard, when things are easy, when things are up and when things are down? So before you can assess what they are doing, you have to have that stuff down pat for yourself. So you have to figure out what are the things what are the principles and standards and concepts that you want to live by. And then you have to set about doing daily activities and daily disciplines to live those principles. So for example, for me, one of the things that I know is that I value my time, and I don't like it when other people don't value their time and or mine. Reason is if you don't value your time, you definitely are not going to value mine. So one of the daily activities or things that I like to do is I don't want to be late to anywhere that I have to go. I make it a mission to be on time to everything. This is something that you can practice while you're single. It's something as simple as like you have to be in a gym class or an aerobics class. Class starts at 5. Don't show up at 5. Show up at 4:45. Right? You're meeting with a relative. Tell them you're going to be there at 7. You need to be there on time. You're going to meet a friend for a coffee or for drinks. I'll meet you at 6:30. What time should you be there? You should be walking in the door at 6:25 to make sure that you guys get a table. So things like this are how you solidify your own standards and your own principles and the ways in which you live your life. So therefore, when you go meet someone and she shows up to the date 15 minutes late, you can go, oh, okay, all right. Doesn't mean that now you cut everything, but it's like, okay, this is a data point. This is not conclusive, but it's definitely something to look out for. If she's the type of person that doesn't value or doesn't treat, obviously if she doesn't treat wait staff good, this is a person you shouldn't be around. But what are her morals and principles? You can only judge those if you have established yours and are living yours on a day-to-day basis. So you have to know how it is you want to live your life, and then you have to live it. And when you do that, when you live your life according to your own value system, you can then judge someone else's value system. This will save you so much time in the person that you decide to be with. And when you set these standards, people will respond one of two ways. You'll either have someone that'll say, you know what? I like the way you have your standards. I like that you have a set of principles that you live by. You know what? I want to rock with that. I want to roll with that. I want to be on board with that. And then you'll have some people who say, you know what? No, you're too rigid. You're too strict. You're too serious about things. I don't want to hang out with you. And these will be friends. These will be colleagues. These will be associates. And these will be romantic partners. So you have to understand that in order for someone to want to rock with you, they got to know what it is that they're dealing with. Well, in order for them to know what it is they're dealing with, you have to know what you're dealing with. You also need to have a practice of daily improvement, daily self-improvement. You know, you can't say that you poured everything into this relationship, because I'm going to ask you, what did you pour into yourself? Do you have daily practices and things that you do that are completely separate from this other person? Or is every single thing you do focused on making this other person feel a certain way? Whether you're trying to make them feel good or whether you're trying to make them feel bad. What are you doing daily that just focuses on you? So for example, that could be reading every day. That could be journaling every day. That could be a meditation practice every day. It could be a whole bunch of different things that you could be working out every day, right? What are you doing daily that pours into you? So that at the end of the relationship, you don't have this statement, I gave everything to her, or I gave everything to the relationship. But you shouldn't be giving everything to the relationship. Some of that energy should be going into preserving and helping and growing yourself. Now, when's the best time to start these practices? Is the best time to start a meditation practice while you're in a relationship or while you're single? Best time to start reading and journaling, is that before you enter a relationship, or is that while you're single? I think that the best time to start these practices is before you even get into a relationship. That's why I say that being single is the best thing that you could do, because it helps you to solidify who you are, to work on those daily disciplines, to figure out what the daily disciplines are going to be, and then to execute them. And to execute them over a certain period of time so that they become habits. And once you do that, then when you step into the circle or to the energy of potentially being with someone, you now can say, hey, this is what I put up with, this is what I don't. This is who I am, this is what I bring, this is the energy that I'm on. And I'm looking for someone to match that energy. I'm on time everywhere that I go. I'm honest and truthful, and I don't gossip. I don't entertain nonsense. If you're the type of person who says, I try to lead a healthier, health-like life, you might say, I don't drink. Or you might say, I don't do drugs. Or you might say, any of the things that you are figuring out for yourself. You know, I don't engage in reckless and self-destructive behavior. Well, you wouldn't know this if you don't take time to not engage in that behavior when you're single. So I'm saying all of that to say, my basic point is, when you're single, this is the perfect time for you to figure out who you are. And to then, maybe if you need to write it down. Write down who you are, write down what you put up with, write down what you won't put up with from yourself first. And then practice those daily habits until they become things that you do that you don't even think about. And once they become those ingrained habits, when you step into the energy of another person, you can immediately see it. And you can say, you know what? No, I don't put up with that. Moving on. So I just wanted to bring that up. I just wanted to talk a little bit about how to figure out who you are before you get into a relationship, because in my opinion, sometimes getting into a relationship, that's the worst time to figure out who you are. You need to know who you are, especially as a man, before you get into a relationship. So thank you guys so much for rocking with me. If you have a comment, please drop down in the comment section below and leave it. Would love to read them. And like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys on the next video. All right, take care. See you later. Bye.